Hello everyone, I'm Anuj Jaggi and I'm a legal intern with LEXIS and Company, and the topic for today's video presentation is separation of powers. So under this rule, the state is divided into three different branches, which is legislative, executive and judiciary, each having different independent power and responsibility on them that one branch may not interfere with the working of the other two branches. So, firstly, what is legislature? So, the chief function of the legislature is to enact laws. It is the basis for the functioning of the other two organs, that is, the executive and the judiciary. Now, next is what is executive? So, the executive is the organ that implements the laws enacted by the legislature and enforces the will of the state. It is the administrative head of the government. Ministers, including the prime minister, chief ministers, presidents, governors, form part of the executive. Then the last one is what is judiciary. So the judiciary is that branch of government that interprets the law, settles the disputes, and administers justice to all the citizens. The judiciary is considered the watchdog of democracy and also the guardian of the Constitution of India. It comprises of the Supreme Court, the High Courts, district and other subordinate courts. So the purpose of separation of powers is to prevent abuse of powers by a single person on a group of individuals. It will guard the society against the arbitrary, irrational and tyrannical powers of the state, safeguard freedom for all and allocate each function to the sustainable organs of the state for effective discharge of their respective duties. Basically, it is the rule which every state government should follow in order to enact, implement the law and further apply the specific case appropriately. If this principle is not followed, then there will be more chances of misuse of the power and corruption. If this doctrine is followed, then there will be less of a chance of enacting a tyrannical law, as they will know that it will be checked by another branch as well. So it aims at the strict demarcation of power and tries to bring the exclusiveness in the functioning of each organs. Then the significance of the separation of powers is that whenever there is a concentration of power in one center or an authority, there is bound to be greater chances of maladministration, corruption, nepotism and abuse of power. This principle ensures that autocracy does not creep into democratic system. It protects the citizens from arbitrary rule. Hence, the importance of separation of powers doctrine can be summed up as it keeps away autocracy, safeguards individual liberty, helps create an efficient administration, judiciary's independence is maintained significantly, prevents the legislature from enacting arbitrary or unconstitutional laws. So the origin of separation of powers can be tracked to the concept of separation of power was first seen in the works of Aristotle in the 4th century of BCE, wherein he described the three agencies of government as General Assembly, public officials, and lastly judiciary. So in ancient Roman Republic too, a similar concept was followed. John Locke said that it's a distinguished between discontinuous legislative power, which is the law-making power called into action from time to time, and second, continuous execution power, which is comprising of executive and judiciary, and the last one is federative power, which is power of conducting foreign affairs. So another one is Montesquieu, who formulated the concept of his book, which is Esprit de Loi, which was published in the 1748, and it said that when legislature and executive are united in the same person or in the same body of the magistrates, then there can be no liberty, because apprehensions apprehensions may arise lest the same monarch or senate should enact tyrannical laws to execute them in a following or in a tyrannical manner. France was a full-fledged monarchy in 18th century. Louis XIV was well known for his absolute and autocratic powers. Montesquieu was impressed with liberal thoughts of Locke and his analysis of British Constitution. So, according to him, the secret of an Englishman's liberty was the separation and functional independence of three departments of the government. So this was the first part of the video on separation of powers, and I will continue the topic in the next video. Thank you.